अरिहंत सिद्ध सूर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी राग ते भई जो भक्ति काय को नवाय स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बार बार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। Sorry for being late to set up these things. It took time, so I'm almost late by 5 minutes. But anyway, so today we are going to study supreme straightforwardness, Uttam Arjav. Okay, Arjav means straightforwardness, uprightness, frankness, honesty, transparency, ethics. So these are some of the words used in different types of books, and it's wide meaning. Basically, straightforwardness means saralta. Okay, imandar, saralta, all this comes under that. So again, like we studied supreme forgiveness and then supreme modesty. So like supreme forgiveness and supreme modesty are the qualities of the soul, or we can say the nature of the soul. Similarly, straightforwardness is the nature of the soul. So in fact, this is one of the favorite topic for myself, because what I have experienced and tried also, that whoever is honest, whoever is ethical, whoever is very transparent, frank, straightforward, he gets all the best things in life automatically. And this is for this life. But if you look at long term, he is the only person who qualifies to get into the path of liberation. So first quality, if you are straightforward, you will automatically develop all other qualities. But if you are not straightforward, okay, if you are deceitful, okay, then you are not going to get anything in your life. It may be a short-term success you may get, but in the long term, you will be the sufferer. So how this affects our life, and how we can identify, and what will be the remedy to get rid of this deception, passion of deception. So we have 4 major passions: anger, pride, deceitfulness, and greed. Krodh, man, maya, lobh. These are the 4 major passions, and the first 4 religion is also about how to overcome these 4 passions. So this Das Lakshan Parva, this time it is going to be different. Every year we are celebrating Das Lakshan Dharma, okay? But this time it is going to be something extraordinary. because you all have joined this Parmagam honors course. And since you have joined it and it's such a good and serious, such a good and fulfilling course, that after studying this for 5 years, your life is going to become very easy. And not after 5 years, even now we are already there since 6 months, somebody 8 months. And you can see the change in yourself. So this is the magic of the words. These words these words have come directly from the sermons of a Tirthankar, and from there on it has passed on to acharyas. So from Tirthankar to Gandhar. Gandhar is also a monk only, and from Gandhar to acharyas to acharyas, and similar, and in the same manner it has come to us. In between there were scholars also. So this has come to us, but the connection is from there only. So this word carries a special effect. So whoever reads it, it is not that I am teaching you, that's why you are understanding it, but these words itself are deep in their meaning, and whoever reads it will get this knowledge. So because you have joined this Parmagam honors class, and there is a lot of follow-up in our course, and you are constantly in studies, and at least 2 hours a week. And apart from that, whatever studies you do on a personal level, that is all different. And once you develop an interest in this kind of studies, and once you feel that, oh, this is going to benefit me in a big way, there is no other studies which are going to be as beneficial as this one, because all other studies are going to bring comfort to you only in this life. And this is the study that is going to end your life and death circle. Okay. So this is only a one-time effort that we are putting, and we are going to enjoy it since time eternal. Okay. There is no end to it. Those who have become liberated, Sit Parmestis, they never come back to this earth again. Okay. And they enjoy eternal bliss, 100% eternal bliss. And that is, in fact, our nature. Okay. So it is there as a quality, as an attributes in all of the souls. But the challenge is, how do we manifest it in our modification? So if you look at from the substance point of view and from the attributes point of view, we are all equal. But from the modification point of view, we see that it all boils down to what kind of efforts you are making, how good is your decision-making power, and accordingly you will be manifesting this happiness, bliss, tranquility, serenity. All these are qualities of our soul, and but unless and until we manifest it in our modification, it doesn't help us. So to manifest this in our modification, we are studying this. We are learning the tricks by which we can experience these qualities, and that's how these are developed in our modification. So supreme straightforwardness is a very good concept from the point of view that unless and until you are ethical in life, you are simple in life, you are transparent in life, you are straightforward in life, you get nothing in life. So this is one of the most important qualities, and we are going to study that in detail. So the name of the dharma is Uttam Arjav Dharma. Uttam is because it is with right belief, and in English we call it as supreme. Uttam is supreme, and Arjav is straightforwardness. Now we'll be reading some of the paragraphs in the textbook. Okay, so Subhaji, you read from the starting, first 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs in fact.
Yes, T. Supreme straightforwardness, Uttama Arjava. Like supreme forbearance and modesty, straightforwardness is also the nature of the self. The state of tranquility which is manifested in the self, soul, in the absence of deception, by taking shelter of the straightforward nature of the self, is called straightforwardness, Arjava. Although basically the soul is of straightforward nature, yet from beginningless time, the state of deception, devoid of straightforwardness, is existing in the self. Straightforwardness is the name of uprightness, naivety. The word supreme prefixed with the straightforwardness denotes existence of right belief. Uprightness found with right belief is really supreme straightforwardness religion. Supreme straightforwardness means passionless uprightness with right belief. The passion of deception is contrary to straightforwardness religion. Owing to deceitfulness passion, the intrinsic uprightness is wiped off from the soul and its place is taken by deception. The behavior of the deceptive person is never natural and ingenious. He thinks something, speaks something else, and does something else. There is no harmony in his thoughts, speech, and action. He wants to accomplish his plan only by deception. Pandit Todarmal has described the behavior of a deceptive person thus. When the passion of deception arises, one desires to accomplish the work deceptively. For accomplishment of his objects, he thinks about various means, utters deceitful words in different ways, possesses his body deceitfully, contrives to prove external things otherwise, even indulges in deceitful actions, which may end his life. On deception being exposed, he may be harmed very much. Death, etc. may result, yet he is undaunted. While indulging in deception, even if some venerable and favorite persons come in his contact, he acts deceitfully with them also and does not have any consideration for them. If his work does not get accomplished by deception, he becomes extremely miserable, starts cutting the parts of his own body, and commits suicide by taking poison, etc. Such things happen when one is overpowered by deception. Is it enough, Ji?
Yeah, that's not only. So you see, you have seen the definition of supreme straightforwardness. It's a quality of the soul, it's a nature of the soul. And you also understood what is mayachari or what is deceptiveness. Okay. And when the passion of deceptiveness, the passion of deception arises, what happens to that person? Pandit Todarmalji has described it very nicely, and we also saw about this in anger also, and pride also. So Todermalji has described each passion in very minute details. And here, if you focus on this, the Pandit Todermalji statement, the second line, I'm reading from the beginning only. When the passion of deception arises, one desires to accomplish the work deceptively. Deceptively means chal, mayachari. For accomplishment of his object, he thinks about various means. Various means different options. Utters deceitful words in different ways. So when he thinks, that means this is activity of the mind. When he utters deceitful words in different ways, it is the activity of the speech, and possess his body deceitfully. So that is of the body. So he is practicing deceitfulness through his mind, through his speech, and through his body. Okay. Contrives to prove external things otherwise. Even indulges in deceitful action, which may end his life. So at the risk of his life, he wants to fulfill his passion of deceitfulness. On deception being exposed, he may be harmed very much, and he can also die also. Yet he is undaunted. He doesn't count all those things. While indulging in deception, even if some venerable, respected, and favorite person come in his contact, he acts deceitfully with them also, and does not have any consideration for them. If his work does not get accomplished by deception, he becomes extremely miserable, starts cutting the parts of his own body, and commits suicide by taking poison. Such things happen when one is overpowered by deception. So you see how dangerous this passion of deception is. Okay, even at the cost of giving up his own life, he is ready to fulfill his desire of this passion of deception. Now, what is the nature of this deception, and what is used, where it is being used? So we will see this. The first four paragraphs are 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I will add another 6 points. Okay. So it will be in total 9 points. That is where we are going to see what is the nature of deception and how it is being used. Okay. So first read through this 4 paragraph. Aditi ji Jain.
Yes, sir. Yes, Nendra.
Yeah. From here, the deceitful person.
The deceitful person, right?
Yeah.
The deceitful person wants to accomplish all his objectives by deception only. He does know that the wooden kettle cannot be placed twice on hearth. If deception is exposed even once, faith in the pretender gets wiped off forever. One can cheat someone by fraud sometimes only, but not always, and also not all persons. The important thing worth noting here is that the the accomplishment of worldly affairs take place not by the fraudulent actions, but happens by the emergence of past auspicious karmas and in the fulfillment of non-temporal acts. Purushart, effort making, is the main important factor in the 5 contemporaneous causes. A weak, wretched person indulges in deception for the accomplishment of his goal. The strong one does not take recourse to fraud for the accomplishment of his goal. He has, can you scroll on? Yeah. Okay. He has the tendency of fulfilling his goal by his own powerful efforts. It is also not correct to think that deception is practiced only to cheat someone. Some persons indulge in it even for the sake of entertainment or by force of habit also. These persons take pleasure in meddling in the affairs of others. Such persons do not hesitate even in jeopardizing others for their petty interest. Nowadays, too much deception is practiced in the name of civilization. People do not pay heed to truth if stated without exaggeration. This is also one of the reasons why people do not express their feelings in a straightforward way, but express them in a twisted manner. The evolution of civilization has made the man too much sweet-tongued. It has become a common thing for the modern man to talk flatteringly but to have deceptive feelings inwards. Should I continue, sir?
No, this much only. So you could find out what would be the main point in among these 4 is that the important thing worth noting, second point, is that the accomplishment of worldly affair. Okay, so whatever efforts you are putting in, okay, accomplishment of worldly affair takes place not by fraudulent action, but happens by the emergence of past auspicious karmas. So if it doesn't happen by my fraudulent action, then why should I act in the first place? Because it all depends on our past auspicious karma. So if I have done very good things in my life, in my previous birth, I have bound those auspicious karmas, then it will come into fruition and I will get what I am supposed to get. But if I am doing fraudulent action, if I am doing deceptive behavior, okay, then it does not help. It does not serve my purpose, because until and unless the auspicious karmas are not there, you are not going to succeed in that. So, and if the auspicious karmas are already there, then what is the point in making this deceptive behavior? Because you are binding new karmas. Okay. So, an enlightened soul never do anything with deceitfulness, because he knows what I will get, what I have to get, I will always get. I did not do anything wrong morally, ethically, to get the success or some things done, because it has to come, it will come to my way. If it has to not to come my way, it will not come, even if I do something deceptively. So the enlightened one understand it, and they never indulge in deceptive behavior. But those who are ignorant, they feel that if I don't do deceitfulness, then I will not be able to do anything in the outside world. But it is not that. Okay. The main part is you have to first understand it. How your belief that doing deceitful thing, I will be successful. Okay, that is a wrong understanding. As I said, in the outside world or in the worldly affairs, success and failure depends on your past karmas. It is not because you are manifesting now passion of deceitfulness. Okay, so your action is not worth, because you are not going to get the fruits of that. You are getting in present, what you are getting is your fruits of your past deeds. Okay, and presently you are doing deceptive things, so you are binding new karmas. Okay, and you feel that this money has come because of my act of deceitfulness, but it is not that. On the contrary, if you act deceitfully, then whatever has to come, whatever the auspicious karma was supposed to come, that also gets reduced. So in actual, you get less than what you would have deserved. So in no way the act of deceitfulness is useful to us. But people now don't realize, because we are moving in the direction of we can say that the moral standard is now getting less and less because of this fifth era. Okay, and we are still in the first 3,000 years of this era, and this total era consists of 21,000 years. So as the time will progress, more complicated things will come up. Life become very complex. Now, you must have realized that 25 years ago, people were so simple. 50 years ago, those who are very old, they must have realized that 50 years ago, life was so simple. Okay, there was no so much of technology, but people were very happy, there was no tension, no depression, nothing of that sort, generally speaking. Okay, by and large. But now, if you see, the tension, depression, these are increasing. Why? Because people are indulging in this kind of deceitful acts. And because of this deceitful acts, he is getting tension, depression. He is always in suspicious mood, always doubting that he may not be caught, This is all written here. So you see that there is not a single benefit by telling lies or by cheating or by indulging in passion of deception. Okay. So these are some of the causes. These were some of the nature of deception. Who does this deception? A weak, wretched person indulges in deception for the accomplishment of his goal. The strong one does not take recourse to fraud for the accomplishment of his goal. He has the tendency of fulfilling his goal by his own powerful efforts. So this should be the right ways. So the accomplishment of worldly affairs takes place by the emergence of past auspicious karma and in the fulfillment of non-temporal acts. non-temporal acts means parlaukic, beyond this life. Okay. Purusharth. Purusharth, effort making, okay, is the main important factor in the 5 contemporaneous, okay. Contemporaneous, 5 contemporaneous means 5 samvai, okay. So these are the causes of anything to happen. One day I have told you about this 5 samvai. It includes swabhav, or the nature. Then bhavitavya means what has to happen will happen, or we can call it destiny also. The third one is kal labdhi, right time. And the fourth one is efforts, your efforts, purusharth. And the last one is nimit, instrumental cause. So anything, for any work to happen, these 5 are the main causes. You cannot ignore any of the cause, and all has an equal role to play in
Sorry,
the
Jay, can you repeat it again? First one, destiny, right time.
swabhav. First one was swabhav, nature. The
Okay.
second one was bhavitavya, or destiny. The third
Others
one
have done.
was kallabdhi, or time.
Fourth
The
one is efforts.
efforts, or purushar. And the
Okay.
fifth one is nimit, or instrumental cause.
Thank you, Jay.
So in the fulfillment of non-temporal acts, parlaukic, okay, means like the path of liberation, you know. So all this takes place with these 5 contemporaneous causes. So these are the 5 causes, and among these 5, Purusharth is the main important factor. Why? Because this is something is in your hand. All the other 4 factors, nature is not in your hand, okay? Nimit is not in your hand. Then destiny is not in your hand, and the time is also not in your hand. So only effort making is in your hand, and that's why we talk from the perspective of effort making. But the main point, in the manifestation of the work, all 5 are of equal importance. But I can only give one cause at a time. I cannot talk about all the 5 causes simultaneously. So sometimes in Jinvani, you will have some statement coming from the point of view of nimit. Sometimes it comes from the point of view of nature. Sometimes it comes from the point of view of destiny. Sometimes from the point of view of time. And sometimes it comes from the point of view of efforts. Okay. So these statements can change, but the fact is that for anything to manifest, all 5 are there together, and all are equal in importance. But speech has limitation. It can talk of one factor at a time. So these are called 5 contemporaneous causes, or we call it simply 5 factors. Okay, 5 factors. So I think we will study this in Krambat Paryay paper, okay, in more detail. But I have just given you an introduction.
Sorry, sir.
It is, yeah.
Sir, when you say swabhav or nature, is it the nature of the person?
No, it is the nature of the soul.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Sorry, sir. It is the nature of the thing that has happened. Okay. Now supposing you have made a gold ring. So, okay, gold ring from gold. So what is the nature of that gold ring?
To
Is
shine?
it Swabhav? Yeah. Okay. Gold
Okay.
is the nature. Now, that ring, there will be some instrumental cause like the goldsmith, etc., etc. Okay.
Okay.
There will be destiny. Destiny means what has to happen will happen. Okay.
It will become a ring. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to happen to become a ring. So gold got, earlier it was only a mass of gold. So now it has get into a shape of a ring. And the time factor, okay? So time factor is also an important thing. Now, if you are putting in efforts, but thing is not happening, that means the acharyas will say that your destiny is not there. This destiny has not come up. And the right time has also not come up. So Acharya will make you understand in that way. Now somebody who is not making any efforts and is depending on the destiny, then the Acharyas will say that you make efforts. So Acharya wants us to go ahead in our path of liberation. So depending on the factor from where we are talking, the acharyas will give us remedy accordingly. The conclusion is that it has to be in a very balanced manner. If we are inclined to one of the factors, then also the thing is not going to happen. So we need to have a balanced approach in all the 5 factors. Okay. The
Yes, sir.
work has been done because of this 5 factor and not 1 factor. I may talk of 1 factor only. And in case of human being, it is generally the efforts that is given importance because that is only in our hand. And that's why this so much of sermons are given, because the soul can really put in his right efforts and he can become God. So from our point of view, effort is only in our hand. The other 4 things are not in our hands. Okay, so the third point, it is also not correct to think that deception is practiced only to cheat someone. It is also a form of entertainment for some. It is a habit for some. It is I would say someone feel them to be clever. So to express their cleverness, they indulge in deceitful acts. And then they feel that maine dekho unko buddhu banaya. But it is not like that. You only have become buddhu yourself. The other person will enjoy his fruit of karmas. Okay. It is not because of your any effort that you can change in his destiny. His destiny is fixed. He will get whatever he has to get. But your act of cleverness and deceitfulness is binding you in auspicious karmas. So the last one, there is so much of deception practiced in the name of civilization. You must have heard about image consulting, you know. Now there is a profession going on. Mostly the ladies are practicing that. They appoint most of the time female people only because they are very good in doing this image consulting business. Okay. So in image consulting, what they do? They make you ready for an interview. They make you ready for marriage, you know. So basically it is to present you in such a way that was not your original nature. Okay. So even if you see in makeup, there are such makeups that have come now that you cannot recognize that person once he goes through that makeup. So it is like that. If you see the film stars live without any makeup, you would not like to see them. Okay. But in the movies, there are specialist makeup people who present them in such a manner that you feel, oh, she's so good looking. But in actually, if you see, she's not that good looking. But because of this, so there is so much of, deception everywhere. Everyone wants to be pretend what he is not in actual. And they adopt different means, and even if it's going to be a cheating, then also people do indulge and try to cheat others. So these are some of the things written over here, and then I'm adding few points more. In business, if you consider a business now, people have this belief that if you act honestly in business, you will not be able to do business. Thoda to chalta hi hai, but it is not like that. In fact, if you are doing your business very honestly, on the contrary, you will bind more auspicious karma, and you will get more benefits, more good things will come to your life. Okay. And if you are indulging in deceitfulness in business, then you are not going to get whatever you are supposed to get. Okay. You will get less than this. That is the first loss. Then the second loss is you are binding inauspicious karmas. Third thing, you are losing your ethics. Okay. You are losing your capability to understand religion. That is the most important. Okay. So this religion can be digested by those people who are very straightforward. If you are a crooked people, you may listen to this, but when it comes to action, when it comes to putting those principles into action, only the ethical and straightforward people will be able to execute it. Those who are very crooked and thinks themselves to be very smart, they will not able to go deep into this kind of spiritual knowledge. So that is the biggest loss. So there is no benefit by indulging in act of deceitfulness. So fifth one was business. The sixth one is relationship. Now there is so many cases of infidelity. People are now become more prone to, cheat their spouses. And the culture is that way. The movies are also depicting that, the serials are depicting that. And so everyone feels that this is how we are, this is very normal. They feel this is very normal. And then there have been apps and websites have come up, especially for this kind of activity. Tinder, and there is some more apps. I don't know the names exactly, but these are all becoming very popular. And previously it was only in the West, but now even in India also, we are getting that kind of exposures, and you can read in the newspaper that so much of cheating. Now people meet on Facebook, and then the crime happens and whatnot. Every day there is something in the news, in the newspaper, which is related to this cheating, deceitfulness, all the time. So relationship also, this is very widespread. Then in the field of education also, there are so many things now happening now, getting important questions and leaking the paper, and then tuitions. Okay, so the teacher will not teach correctly in the class, so the students have to resort to taking tuitions. In earlier days, very few people used to take tuitions. Only the dull would take tuitions. The most intelligent one and the good one were always doing on their own. So there is this deceitfulness is being practiced. Even they poach teachers from one tuition class to other tuition class. So there are all sorts of things going on. Even those who are working in some school or tuition classes, then they start their own tuition classes and they try to rope in all those students by using the data which they have captured over there. And there are easily data available in the market whose job is to, hack the website or whatever maybe and get the database of who are his consumers and students or whatever. And then those datas are being sold and people indulge in buying those datas and trying to grab the clients or the customers of other people. So everywhere there is an act of deceitfulness. Even if we see in politics is full of deceitful people. Then some kind of businesses, like if you see the builder lobby, they are all crooked people and deceitful people only. You cannot find an honest builder, They say something, they gives him some other qualities, and wherever they find a loophole, they will always get hold of it and practice deceitfulness. Now, coming to the last point, if you see our Mandir Ji, there are trustees who are managing that Mandir, and they also indulge in this kind of act of deceitfulness. They make a cut in spendings of the funds of the Mandir, and they also practice different means to, cheat. So you see, there is a deceitfulness all around. Now, in the next page, there are 5 points given. What is the effect of this act of deceitfulness? There are 5 points, page number 46. Okay. So, Aditi ji, you read out this 5. Now, Priyanka ji, one does not understand from there.
I am just outside the house for the moment. In 5 minutes, I will just get back and I will change the page also.
Okay.
Just
okay.
5 minutes.
Yeah, Priyanka ji, you do. You can read from the screen also.
Okay, sir. Sir, page number 46, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And from one does not?
Yeah.
One does not understand that fraud may prove extremely harmful, not only for others, but also for himself, and can disturb his own comfortable living. Not only it can disturb his peace, but it really keeps him disturbed. The deceptive person is found always full of suspicion because he is always afraid of the exposure of his policy of double dealing. Deception invariably gets exposed sometime or the other. Maintaining its secrecy, though not impossible, is undoubtedly a very difficult task. He remains always involved in it. He remains always fearful too. This fear is always there in his mind, that his condition will become very miserable on exposure of his deception, and he will fall into great difficulty. Fraud perpetrator against strong persons, when disclosed, proves to be disastrous. Although danger lies in the disclosure of fraud, yet, due to suspicion of danger, the deceitful person always remains terrified. The suspicious and terrified person can never remain free from anxiety. Mentally, he is always perturbed, anxious, agitated. No person having disturbed mind can do any work righteously and successfully. Practice of religion and adoration of the self soul are out of question for him.
So, nobody believes the deceitful person. Even his parents, brothers and sisters, wife and sons lose faith in him. So these are the 5 points. The wise men state that deception is to be understood as birthplace of ignorance, storehouse of disgrace, a deep pit of sins, bolt for way to liberation, gate way to hellish life, fire for burning the forest of the sal trees of chastity. So you see how wide the effects are.
So stubborn, Amira. Put your
One
Put your
last
hand back.
one. Yeah. Priyanka ji, you mute yourself.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir.
Yeah, no problem. So now the next point is about the page number 47, mind, speech and body. So most of the people say that this act of deceitfulness happens through mind, speech and body. But Sith permits is so the quality of straightforwardness manifest in those whose mind, speech, and body are in harmony. Whatever he says, whatever has in mind, he speaks that only, and his action is also same way. But there are some person that we already seen that his mind is something else and his speech is something else, and he does activity something different. So those are deceitful person. But a person who is very straightforward, you will not see disharmony among mind, speech and body. It's all very harmonious, whatever he says, and this is mostly seen in the monks. But as a householder, we can also practice this supreme straightforwardness. So if we consider supreme straightforwardness through mind, speech and body, then how the siddhas also have this quality. Okay, so how the siddhas will manifest this religion? So it is not because of mind, speech and body. Okay, but we are expressing this deceitfulness through mind, speech and body. Okay. Likewise, the second point is, likewise, it will not be possible to accept the presence of the passion of deceit in those jivas, mundane soul, who do not possess mind and speech, such as one sensed, two sensed, and these three sensed, four sensed, five sensed, like that. Okay. So the third one, the third point among it is page number 48. So the first one was page 47, second last paragraph. The second point was the next paragraph. The third point is on page number 48, secondly, that is the third point. Then on the page number 49, first paragraph, man mein hoi so vachan ucharye, in reference to this saying. This is the fourth point. And the fifth point is, after one paragraph, Arjadava and the passion of deceit, both of these are the disposition of jiva. So it is being expressed through mind, speech and body, but the religion of straightforwardness, supreme straightforwardness, is a quality of the soul, and it has nothing to do with mind, speech, and body. Deception and Arja Dharma are not produced, okay, by this medium of mind, speech, and body, but only become apparent through them. Now, coming to the last question, what should we do to give up this deceitfulness? Okay, page number 54. Second last paragraph. Our time is also over. We'll just finish it off. 54. Yeah. Take further up. No. It's in the last paragraph. Yeah. Yeah. From the answer starts from here. For the manifestation of supreme straightforwardness, first of all, one should know that the passion of defeat is in fact not the name of disparity, contrariety, or cunningness of the mind, speech, and body. As a matter of fact, it is generated in the soul itself, but gets manifested through the medium of mind, speech, and body. So you have to make a strategy yourself. You can make a decision by yourself that I will be living a life of straightforwardness. Come what may, I am not going to indulge in any act of deceitfulness. Okay, this is the decision that you have to take. 1 minute. So the first quality that I spoke in the beginning only, a person should be high on ethics. Second is he must be truthful. The third is he should follow the path shown by Jinendra Bhagwan. Now this path can be in the form of 4 expositions. Okay, Prathman Yog, Charnan Yog, Karnan Yog, and Dravyan Yog. So from Prathman Yog, you see that there are so many stories about people being straightforward and getting all the good things in life. Like if you see Sita, if you see Anjana Sati, then Ramchandra ji et al. So that is from Prathman Yog. From Charnan Yog, because of this exposure to nowadays to TV, internet, serials, okay, and the whole scenario or the whole atmosphere has changed for the bad. People are now indulging in deceitful act every now and then, and it has become a way of life for most of the people that we see around. Why? Because we are moving against the flow. Okay, so the general tendency, the general flow is that people are getting crooked day by day. People are losing their morality day by day, and we have to move against this flow. We have to stand upright in spite of seeing other people doing wrong things in their life. So we should not copy them, but we should always take the side of the truth. Okay, and truth shall always win. Recently, if you see the example of Kanji Swami, he was very truthful, and he left the sampradaya that he was a saint in that, and he was very popular. But still he thought that I don't want to do wrong things. I want to be very straightforward. So he left that sampradaya, and there was a struggle in between. But ultimately he made so many people connected to this religion, and so you can see the simplicity and the truthfulness that he had, and he got success. So we have to be very aware to not to indulge in this kind of act, because it does not help in any way. The third one is Karnan Yoga, why this act of deceitfulness happens in the first place. So the main cause is the rise of the karmas, inauspicious karmas, charitra moh, tivra moh ka uday. Okay, because of tivra means intense delusion, people indulge in act of deceitfulness. Okay, so from the Karnan Yoga point of view, it is the karmas, and from the Dravyan Yoga point of view, you have to understand the nature of substance, attributes, and modification, and how they are independent of one another. And this decision only is going to bring relief, happiness, tranquility in your life. Today also, it is not that everyone in this world is indulging in act of deceitfulness. There are still good people on this planet, and they are in fact enjoying their life by just simply one quality, that I will not get indulged in any act of deceitfulness. And those people who practice descriptive knowledge, and by practicing that descriptive knowledge, they are able to achieve right belief and right knowledge and right conduct, and they are the happiest person on this earth. So this was all from, so you have to walk on the path of liberation as enumerated by our Tirthankar and the Panch Parmesthis. And if you follow this, you will get rid of this deceitfulness, and you will manifest supreme straightforwardness in yourself. So this chapter is very, very important from the point of view of understanding the principles of Jainism. If you are straightforward, you will pick it up very fast. And if you are not straightforward in your life, then you may have intelligence, you may remember also, but when it comes to practicing it, you will not be able to do it. So if you see your someone around you who is into religion for 20, 30 years, but still he is getting into petty politics and all kinds of lies and everything, is just because they never understood the religion in the right sense. Because if they would have understood, they would not practice this kind of act. So this is all about supreme straightforwardness. And I hope that everyone makes a decision today, and today only, now only, that henceforth I will not indulge in any act of deceitfulness as a strategy, as a policy. Okay, but sometimes it may happen because if you take some decision immediately, it doesn't come into practice. But sooner or later, yeah, it will come into practice, but your decision will help you to live a very straightforward, simple, and happy life. If you have any questions, you ask me personally. I have not much time with me. Okay, so you ask me personally, I will answer. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है। 9 बार नौकर मंत्र गिनेंगे। जय जिनेंद्र।
जय जिनेंद्र।